We have some really amazing speakers that you're going to hear from. We have all kinds of great event vendors. We're super excited to see folks who are still coming in. We're delighted. And I want to just start first by calling up Marcus Wood. Is Marcus inside?
Right here.
Marcus, I want to call you up to kick off the event. So for those of you who don't know Mr. Wood is a resident of Rocky Hill. He's a big community supporter, very actively involved, big family. He is has his own career, but he's also just become an entrepreneur in addition to that. He has started a food truck, which is here, and I encourage all of you to go out and support Mr. Wood. And we're delighted because among his very many talents, he is also a singer, and he has some inspirational words to share with us. And so I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Madam Mayor. Thank you so much. I'm really excited to be here at our inaugural Juneteenth Freedom Day celebration. And I wanted to take a moment and kind of talk about what freedom means to me. I have on my Good Morning Vietnam shirt in support of my father-in-law who was in Vietnam, and I'm thankful for his service. And on the side there, I have my flag from my Uncle George. I received Uncle George's flag from his service from World War II, and it means something to me to have that flag and have it with me. So I hope that I can get through all of this without being too emotional, because I'm really excited that we're at a place where we're celebrating freedom. Juneteenth to me is the day that America began to live up to its promise of all men are created equal. Freedom for all. It began then. That's when we began becoming the America that we are today. Your Honor mentioned my new food truck. I joke with people and I say I am glad that I started my food truck in 2023 and not in 1923, because we would have had a different result, in all honesty. So we have to celebrate from whence we came to where we are. I invite you to choose to stand for the singing of our national anthem. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the glistening sky. Let it resound as loud as the rolling sea. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose both bold and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. The rocket's red glare, the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our us sing a song filled with the joy that the present has brought us, facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on to victory. Is one.
All right.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Oh my gosh, is that not beautiful or what? What a voice. Stunning, absolutely stunning. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, now I'm going to call up our Pastor Ron Cox. For those who don't know, Pastor Ron Cox is just the epitome of all things community. He's always there for us, every event, everything we do. He's also the pastor for our Rocky Hill Volunteer Fire Department. And so please join me in welcoming Pastor Ron.
Good afternoon. Let's try that again. Good afternoon. I'm going to be offering a prayer, but I want to do it differently because I love the fact that we started with unity. You brought us together to bringing the beautiful hymn, Dr. Martin Luther King's favorite song, his hymn, with the United States. It's just a beautiful. So on your table, there is the prayer that we are going to read together. I thought it would be nice that we hear one voice here today. Just one voice. There are so many voices that are like screaming at us that we need to have that one voice today. Now, there may not be enough copies at each table, and that's because I did not put enough at each table. So if there aren't enough, you must share.
That's right.
So horrible, we have to share with each other. So I would just ask that we together voice this prayer as a people who want that we should grow closer and closer to each other together and stop putting these labels and barriers that separate us. Let us join together. Today, we commemorate the end of slavery in America. This day partially reminds us of the progress we made. This day also partially reminds us of the progress we have not yet made. We celebrate the freedom of black lives in our nation. We grieve that we have not correctly reconciled the sin of racism throughout our country. You created each person with a spirit that has the potential to see, to hear, and to feel the pain and injustice of our present age. We are called to love with all our hearts, souls, and minds, and then to love our neighbors as ourselves. That spirit of love motivates us to love each other. And if we do not love each other, then ultimately we are denying the precious gift of creation. As much as we commemorate and celebrate Juneteenth, we grieve this day. We mourn that many of our black brothers and sisters have not been loved as our neighbors. We mourn that many of our black sisters and brothers have not been treated less than equal throughout history. We confess the sins of the past and present. For this we repent. The healing and reconciliation we desire can only come from that spirit God implanted within our hearts and souls. On Juneteenth this year, we ask you to guide our nation. May that God-given spirit lying deep within each of us motivate us to love one another. May the ideals of our words match the practices of our actions. May the empowerment of your spirit unite and bind us together. Give us fresh eyes to see, sharp ears to hear, and a renewed spirit to experience and embrace a life filled and overflowing with a love embodying goodness, graciousness, and humanity. Om Shanti, Amen, Amen. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Ron. That was really beautiful. So I just want to, before we go any further, I wanted to make a point of thanking our sponsors, because without them today wouldn't be possible. And so I'm just going to call them out: Kelson Row, Rose Hill Memorial Park, Shaker Hill Funeral Home, Brown & Brown, Romano, Parker, and Associates. I also want to thank our committee. And if our committee members can please stand just to be acknowledged, because this is all because of you and your dedication. And so please don't be shy, but we're going to applaud you even if you're sitting, because you're too shy to get up. Mr. Marcus, Ralph, everybody, come on now. Thank you, thank you. I want to thank a very special young man. He can stay standing, Mr. Jayden. Mr. Jayden Osei-TuTu. So Jayden is a sophomore in college, and he came to me and he said, you know, can we do something for Juneteenth? You know, it's something that we don't typically acknowledge. Our community needs this, and we were like 100%. Like, let's do it, whatever you need. And so we're going to hear from Jayden in a little while, but I just want to give him a special shout out because he is a very special young man. I also want to thank our vendors. We were very intentional in seeking out our vendors today. Anytime that we have an opportunity to especially embrace our Black and Brown vendors here in our community, we want to do that. And so thank you to all of them who are here today. Right. I would be remiss if I didn't thank our queen of all good things that happen in Rocky Hill, Miss Rita Chabra. Thank you, Rita. And finally, I just want to thank all of you, our incredible community, for embracing events like this. And the opportunity for us to share experiences is really what brings us together. When we just come together like this in just a simple way, and we share our thoughts, our perspectives, our experiences, that's what breaks down barriers. That's what brings us closer as a community, and that's what we need to be sustainable here in Rocky Hill. So to you, all of you, I say thank you. I think Pastor Ron said it best. You know, today is a day of reflection. We can reflect and celebrate how far we've come, but we still need to take pause and look at the fact that we have not come far enough. And today is an example of us coming together as a community to explore ways that we can continue to move forward. And so we're going to do just that. What I would like to call up at this time is Mr. Jayden. And before I do that, I do want to recognize one of our dignitaries in the audience, Commissioner Alan Tan. Commissioner, thank you for coming. Commissioner Tan works for the Commission on Women, Children, Seniors, Equity, and Opportunity. He has been a huge support for our community when we face different types of difficulties here with, you know, it could be, you know, messaging that's coming into our community, white supremacy, Asian hate, all types of things that we really just need to address, and he helps us shine a light on those things and make sure we're doing the right things to end it. So thank you, Commissioner Tan. We're going to hear from him as well. But right now, we're going to call up Mr. Jayden, because without him, we would not be here. So thank you, Jayden.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Rocky Hill's first inaugural Juneteenth celebration. My name is Jayden Osei-TuTu. I'm a rising junior majoring in political science at the University of Connecticut. And as the founder of Rocky Hill's first Juneteenth celebration, I would be remiss if I didn't explain the significance of this special day and what it means to me. But before I do that, I'd like to recognize our Juneteenth Planning Committee, vendors, and sponsors for making this day possible. Our committee spent months planning this event and worked endlessly to ensure that things would run smoothly. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for helping me transform this idea into reality. Secondly, I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's celebration, as I'm honored that you would join me in making history as we commemorate the historical legacy of Juneteenth in the town of Rocky Hill. At this time, I ask that you please give yourselves a round of applause. In Galveston, Texas, on June 19, 1865, 2,000 Union soldiers informed over 250,000 enslaved African Americans that they were now free and had been for 2.5 years as a result of the Emancipation Proclamation issued on January 1, 1863. This edict freed enslaved people living in Confederate states that seceded from the Union, but contrary to popular belief, it did not end slavery, as the decree did not apply to those living in Union border states, such as Missouri, Kentucky, Maryland, and Delaware. It was not until the ratification of the 13th Amendment on December 6, 1865, that slavery officially became outlawed across the United States, and was only permissible as a punishment for committing a crime. Now, when asked what Juneteenth means to me, Juneteenth serves as a celebration of freedom and the end of one of the most egregious practices in our nation's history. We must celebrate the resilience, dedication, and ingenuity of the African American community as we navigate through a society that has tried time and time again to deprive us of our humanity, invalidate our accomplishments and experiences, and undermine our efforts towards forging an equitable society. And while we celebrate these things, we must also recognize the systemic and institutional injustices that persist and how they have shaped our society. Even though slavery came to an end in 1865, the desire to subdue, oppress, and enslave members of the African American community did not, as evidenced by this country's history of racial oppression, police brutality, and the prison industrial complex, which incarcerates African Americans at a disproportionate rate, allowing for the system of slavery to remain alive and well. With this in mind, I ask all of you to consider what steps you will take to ensure that one day your peers, your black brothers and sisters, can enjoy true liberation. As I close, I will leave you all with a question to consider. If we live in a society where racial disparities are commonplace and the lives of black people can easily be expunged while nobody's held accountable, then I must ask, how free are we? Thank you.
Great job, Jayden. We're so proud of you. Great job. I now have the pleasure of introducing you to a woman that I was introduced to a couple years ago, maybe now, Jamika Jeffries. Jamika Jeffries is just an absolute rock star. She is so involved in her community. She's a motivator. She's inspirational. She's a leader. She is helping her community. She is a resilient woman. She brings versatility, and through the pursuits that she does, she's helping so many people, not just in New Haven, but in the state of Connecticut. And I am so thrilled that she is here to speak with us, and I want to welcome you. Thank you for coming, and please come on up.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, come on in here. Who's excited? Who's delighted? All right, that's it. I used to be a rapper, so I'll keep going. But before I get going, I just want to take time and just thank the very honorable Mayor, Lisa Murata, for putting us on. Thank you. And to the committee that gave her the resources to help fund all of the sponsors. Just to all of you, and to all the great townspeople of Rocky Hill. Are you in here today? Yes. We are so excited to be before you. Again, my name is Jamika Jeffries. I own a real estate brokerage called Diamond Realty Partners, and we cover the entire state. We help people on all levels. So whether you're a first-time home buyer or you're selling your $1 million home, we want you to call us, all right? Because that's what we do. Our motto is Diamond Gets It Done. Now, what the mayor did not know is that today is a very special day for me on two fronts. You know, they say there's two very important dates in your life. The day that you're born and the day you find out why you were born. Yes. And June 19th, 1994 marks 30 years since I discovered my purpose in life, which was to live for God and to teach his people his ways, his truth, and his life. So 30 years. So I'm excited because technically I'm 30 years old today. Even though I'm 49, all right? But today is very important to me on many fronts, and I'll try to be brief, but it's super important. I want to acknowledge that young man. Thank you for going to the mayor for this. You say it's the first annual, correct? So that means it's the first of many, 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 many to come. You did that. You're a pioneer. You're a trailblazer. And there's so many more of you in here that there's so much greatness. I could just look around the room and I can point you out. But that's not my job here today. My job is to just uplift us as a people. Because at the end of the day, there really is only one race, and that is the human race. Thank you. So I want to make that disclaimer. However, today we are celebrating the liberation of black slaves from the oppression and suppression at the hands of inhumane and, may I dare say, ignorant, wealthy landowners who believe that by enslaving black people that they could keep us in bondage. However, the one thing they fail to realize is that you can place chains on a body, but you can't put chains on a soul. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. Yes. We celebrate the fact that we have risen from the ashes of our incinerated past, and we can now sail on oceans of endless opportunities. I'm so glad to see these young people staring me right in my face right here. Because I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to speak directly into your spirit today. Not only do we celebrate the fact that we can drink from every water fountain, and we've scaled what seems like insurmountable mountains, but we've made so many contributions without retribution, it's almost impossible for us to count them. We as a people, and hear me well, we are odd beaters, record breakers, trendsetters, go-getters. We've been inventors and we're mentors. And if there's any stage of any relevance or importance, we're usually at the very center. Albeit sports, entertainment, arts, education, science, black people have a seat at the table. We as black people in this country and around the world, we've exemplified brilliance and resilience in the face of all kinds of adversities, tragedies, and injustices. And we have proven time and time again that we can be, do, and have anything that we want to be, do, and have. Can I get a witness? So now that we have this newfound freedom, I pose a question to all of you in this room. What do we do with this freedom? I want you all to touch yourself right now and say, I have a responsibility. Oh, y'all not saying it like you mean it. Say, I have a responsibility. Yes, we have a responsibility to leave this world a much better place than our ancestors ever dreamed was possible. Touch yourself again and say, I have a responsibility. You see, I have a personal responsibility because my grandfather, Elwood Lennon Sr., worked the tobacco and cotton fields of North Carolina with his 10 children in tow. And guess how much they paid him? $0. That means he works for free. So I want you all to really just forgive me. And don't mistake my unwavering confidence for cockiness when I tell you, because my grandfather tilled those soils of North Carolina for free, I have no other choice but to become the first millionaire in my family. I have a responsibility. Yes, I have a responsibility, you all, and I owe it to my progenitors and my predecessors to show up in this world the best version of myself. You owe it to your ancestors and your progenitors to show up the best version of yourself in this world. Knowing that people were handcuffed, chained, whipped, raped, hung on trees, disenfranchised, marginalized, and polarized so that you can roam free. You have a responsibility to be limitless in your pursuit of life, liberty, and justice for all men. So, now with this newfound liberty, I want you to know, yes, we might have been shackled in chains, but we don't fight with our hands, we fight them with our brains. What does that mean, Jamaica? That means we have businesses and companies and law firms and private practices and yes, real estate brokerages. So no, we're no longer in chains, but guess what? We're not going to fight you with our bare hands, we're going to fight you with our prayer hands. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to fight you with our spirit, our minds, and with our brain. Thank you. And one of my favorite scriptures is Galatians 5, verse 1, which says this: stand fast in the liberty wherewith Christ has made you free, and be ye not entangled again in the yoke of bondage. That's a lot of words, Jamaica. What does that mean? Well, what it means, you all, is that you may have been a victim. You may have grown up in what we call a concrete jungle community, where drugs and the lure of fast money may have pulled at you. Yes, you may have grown up in an area that was disenfranchised and disillusioned. But I declare unto you that those of you who may have been convicted of a crime, on this 19th day of June 2024, you will not be a statistic of recidivism. If and when you decide to return to a correctional facility, you will not go back as a repeat offender, as a felon, or a convict, but you will go back as a counselor and a confidant. You'll help the next man not repeat the mistakes of their past, but you'll put them on a path and a pattern for success. You may have come from a broken home, and I want to talk to those of you who may not have had both parents in the home. Maybe your mother wasn't emotionally there for you, or your father wasn't present in the home. Guess what? You may have come from a broken home, but a broken home doesn't have to come from you. Yes, you can now make a decision that I'm going to be the parent that I didn't have, and I'm going to show up and be that person of responsibility for my family, because guess what? Families make up communities. Communities make up towns and cities. Cities make up states. And states make up this great nation of ours. Yeah. Now, although we have experienced these horrific atrocities in these United States of America, I still believe that the United States is the best country on earth. I do believe this. And so I encourage you today to build your businesses, buy your real estate, which is still the #1 way to create generational wealth in the world. Yes, impact the world with your uniqueness, of your version of greatness, and take nothing to the grave with you. I want you to rise up today and know that you can make a fresh start, right here, right now. You can make a fresh start because this is still the land of opportunity. You can start now on June 19, 2024 to make this day a commemoration of the new free you. Today is the day that ignites the inception of the greatness that permeates within you. Today is the day that we recognize how our forefathers bled, sweat, and died for us so that their sacrifice could light a match to spark a flame that sets you ablaze for your purpose and your passion in this life. Today is the day, people. Understand this. Your life is not just about what you lead here on earth, but it's about what you leave here on earth. So in my conclusion, I will ask you, will your liberation leave a lasting landmark of love and longevity? Will you allow your God-given liberation to lift you, your loved ones, and your fellow man, and all that hear your voice so that they too can create and leave a lasting legacy in their lineage. I believe that I am qualified, I'm justified, and I'm authorized to answer that question for everybody in this building with a resounding, yes we can, yes we will, and yes we must. God bless you, and God bless these great states of the United States of America. Thank you so much for this time.
Did I tell you? Did I tell you she was incredible? Yeah, all right, one more time. I now have the pleasure of introducing you to another incredible woman. Her name is Evie Basie. I want to say it properly. Mansik. Thank you. Evie, I met Evie maybe about a year ago, not even. She came to the opening of a very special event we had here at the Dream Cafe. And I got to know her a little bit, and I got to see the difference that she's making in the world. She's an incredibly talented woman. She's also an author, and she's going to be doing a book signing here for you. But right now, she's going to come up and she wants to share her perspective and her views about what Juneteenth means to her. So please join me in welcoming her up here.
Oh, pirates, yes, they robbed I, sold I to the merchant ship. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit, but my hands was made strong by the hands of the Almighty. We forward in this generation triumphantly. Won't you help to sing this song of freedom? Is all I ever had. Oh, redemption song, redemption song. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Who some say is just a part of it. We must all fulfill the book. Won't you help me sing? This song of freedom is all I ever heard. Hey, redemption song, this song of freedom, redemption song. Freedom is not something that one people can bestow on another as a gift. They claim it as their own, and none can keep it from them. People as free as they want to be. On this day in 1865, freedom found its way to Galveston, Texas, to the last 250,000 enslaved Africans, more than 2 years after Abe Lincoln had read the Emancipation Proclamation. For more than 1.5 centuries, Juneteenth has been sacred to the Black community. Before Juneteenth was stamped into a federal holiday by President Biden on June 17, 2021, Black folks always got together to celebrate. We noted the day as special. What do? We gathered our families. We built community. We told stories through music and song and dance. Storytelling, food, music, song, dance. All the things that kept our humanity before us, lest we forget. Or, during that time, lest they forgot who they were. On June 19, 1865, the end of physical enslavement was announced, but it kicked off a march towards true freedom, justice, and equality. We continue that journey today because the work is yet to be completed. Ken Burns said, people tend to forget that the word history has the word story in it. It's heartbreaking that in recent times, there has been a concerted effort towards selecting certain parts of our history to highlight. Which book is deemed suitable for our libraries? I am here to tell you that it is important to look in the rear view mirror of life to see how far you have come and how far you have come to measure your growth as a people and as a nation. Education is our weapon and love is our shield. Let us teach the future generation about all of our rich history, our profound accomplishments, and the limitless potential within every child, every person, irrespective of their color. I like music with my speeches, that's great. As we celebrate Juneteenth today, we acknowledge the unyielding spirit of those who sowed in tears seeds of hope, even in their darkest time, and held on with clenched fists to the hope of the future where their children can walk the land that they worked with bent backs. That they would walk this land towards true freedom that was not given, but that was clawed and fought for with tenacious perseverance. As we celebrate Juneteenth today, we acknowledge that the end is nowhere in sight. This enduring match continues, that we have won battles, but the war continues. In the corridors of policy making, the halls of justice, in schools, and at job places. However, I say this, in the hearts and minds of every citizen, we should work together towards securing true equality. That should be the paramount thing on our mind, because together we stand, and divided we shall fall. Juneteenth is America's true Independence Day, because while 13 colonies got their freedom on July 4th, 1776, there were people still within its boundaries that were not privileged to enjoy that freedom. All must be free or no one is free. When those last 250,000 enslaved African Americans were told that they were free, that was when America was truly independent. The power lies in our hands to shape this country into what we want to see in the future for our children. We can be the architects of the future, of a future where equity is the thread that holds the fabric of this community, of this nation together. I want to encourage you all to pull your collective energies together, be like my young friend here, Jayden, into nurturing our communities, supporting and growing opportunities for every individual to prosper in this great nation. Let us be mindful to engage, to celebrate each other. It ought not to be a revolutionary act to be kind, to be patient, to be compassionate, to be empathetical, to be loving, and to have forgiveness in our hearts towards one another. So I want each of us to look at one another and say the word Sawubona. Please, let's say it with spirit. Sawubona. That means I see you. Happy Jubilee Day. My name is Evie Bassi. Thank you for having me.
And he's right. We have an incredible group of performers that are here with us today. I wanted to take a minute and I wanted to acknowledge our commissioner because our commissioner, and I did acknowledge him earlier, but I just wanted to say a couple of words to us because he's got some important message. So come on out, Commissioner.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I also wanted to let you all know, thanks to Jayden over here, who helped organize this event. For those of you who don't know, I actually am a lifelong resident of Rocky Hill. I still live in this town. And I was born and raised, went to the schools here. And to see that our young people are putting together events like this to educate each other about their different cultures is very important. Now, I did want to give a couple of brief remarks. I'm glad I didn't have to explain Juneteenth and everybody. Thank you, Jayden, for that. But it is important, as we recognize a true Freedom Day, that we explain what the Commission actually does. So, at the state legislature, the Commission on Women, Children, Seniors, Equity, and Opportunity is actually the legislature's policy agency for African American, Asian American, Latino, and Puerto Rican women, children, and seniors issues. We have a board of 44 commissioners, and we are responsible for advising the General Assembly, which is your elected state representatives and senators, on ways to improve the public policy of Connecticut for everybody. So, in the spirit of Juneteenth, I wanted to kind of mention two things. One is that the state has actually been celebrating Juneteenth since 2003. It was become a paid public holiday in 2023 by Act of the General Assembly signed by the governor. And today, and we do this every year, I actually missed our own flag raising for this because it was important for me to come back and tell my fellow residents of Rocky Hill that the work that you guys do is recognized in Hartford. And the Juneteenth flag, which was made by somebody from Norwich, Connecticut, is currently flying over our state capitol. So if you all want to drive by and see that flag flying over, you should know that today the Black and Puerto Rican Caucus, the Commission, and the Martin Luther King Jr. Commission of the state of Connecticut joined together with our state legislators and our elected officials to raise the Juneteenth flag over the state capitol of the state of Connecticut. So I know I'm standing between you, food, and a lot of great performers. So thank you for having me here today. I'm sorry I can't stay. I have to go to another event. But I hope that you all enjoy today and remember the sacrifices of our ancestors, and take those sacrifices of our ancestors and work together to build a stronger, not just community locally, but also the state of Connecticut and our great country, the United States of America. Thank you.
Now, they are Hartford's proud drill, drum, and dance corps. So let's get started with them.
How you guys doing today? Hey, appreciate it. How are you guys doing today? Good? Word. So I wrote a little speech on my phone. I'm gonna say the speech and then we're gonna get right into it.
Is it short?
Short. So throughout African American history, music has always played a vital role in expressing ourselves, being heard, and making our presence felt. Both slaves and free blacks used music to worship, work, and as celebration. The song I wrote today is an expression of my soul. 2K. All right, turn me up, DJ.